for the whole of Scotland, we've seen rates of both type 1 and type 2 diabetes increase year on year. And in the last 12 years, the number of people with diabetes in Scotland has doubled. So it continues on an upward trajectory. And if you're from a South Asian background, then you are up to 6 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes, and at a younger age. So your risk is increased over the age of 25 compared to over the age of 40 if you're from the white European community.
We're here in the Gifnick area, and the family we're going to see is basically a joint family living together. The mother has diabetes, and it's hereditary in her family, as a lot of her brothers and sisters and extended family members also have diabetes. So she has a lot of concerns about how this would have an impact on her children, and how the possibilities and the risk factor is a lot more higher for her children and maybe her grandchildren.
Well, my friend told me about them, and I wanted to know more about it in my own language. So they came to me, and it's very good because they come to your house and they help me a lot.
Basically what we found is South Asians are very prone to using their hands as their measurement tools. They are more receptive to looking at visuals, and they understand it much better. And so I was going through with her how she could understand what a portion was, and from there then it would be easier for her to be able to calculate how many portions she should be eating.
I find out more about the portions and how much I can take, like butter and fish and potato and everything like that. So it helped me a lot.
Baji is a person who goes to an Islamic gathering of women, and she goes on a regular basis, about once a month. And there she finds that because there are other ladies there, she's starting to impart the knowledge that we've given her to them.
Because they speak my language, so easy to understand. And with the doctor, sometime I understand, sometime I don't.
For many South Asians, we know this from research, is that they like to be able to relate to their healthcare provider. And often that might mean a linguistic connection, or it might mean a cultural or religious connection.
You know, with the NHS, there is always a sort of one-size-fits-all kind of approach, you know, because it is a national service, so it's difficult always to tailor it to specific communities.
So today we're in the south side of Glasgow, and we're here to see a young man, age of 20, who's living with diabetes. So we're going to go and do a session today.
My name's Hamza Yusuf. I'm 20 years old, and I recently got diagnosed, I think about a month ago. I already thought that I was already diabetic because I could feel it. I could feel the, dehydration and tiredness, and went to the doctors, they took a blood test. Sugar was really, really high, and straight away, the same day, I got tablets given out to me.
The one particular challenge that we've had with Hamza that maybe we haven't had encountered with other families is the nature of his job. He starts in the afternoon, late afternoon, and finishes in the morning. So we've tried to adapt the sessions to hopefully meet the requirements of his lifestyle, and we've also encouraged him to get further advice on this through his diabetes healthcare team.
He told me how fat is a major issue. Fat, like these burgers and stuff we eat, like the fat that we eat, it starts blocking everything. So eventually everything's going to stop working.
There are various body parts that we show which can be affected if there is poor management of the condition. So you've got the feet, the retina, you've got the brain, artery. It's good to get them to see a visual, and we can actually explicitly explain to them, this is what can happen if not managed. But the positive message is that 80% of such complications, or a high percentage of these complications, can be avoided. For somebody younger, it may be that they might not take the condition as seriously because maybe they haven't experienced some of the complications yet. So it's good that at his age he is proactive and starts making those changes to his lifestyle now.
Often when it comes to managing a condition, it requires people with diabetes to modify their diet and their lifestyle, and lifestyle often means exercise and physical activity. The sensitivities when it comes to undertaking physical activity, because you have to respect dress code and interaction between genders, then if you're giving something that is actually practical, then people are more likely to apply it in their day-to-day lives.
The family you're going to meet today are a husband and wife. Both are living with diabetes. The wife herself is quite active, but she was actually quite concerned for her husband because she felt that he was quite sedentary and didn't really do a lot of walking, and she wanted to know what else they could do to try and ensure that their diabetes was under control.
We weren't doing a lot of walking or anything like that. There was no exercise as such, but since they came and they told us that walking was good for our health, we have regularly, on a regular basis, started coming to the park and taking walks in the park. And we do that nearly every day if we can.
It's not a matter of you walking hours and hours. It's just supposed to be something which you build into your lifestyle. Again, when we talk about exercise, lots of people think exercise, that's something which is an extra activity which is added on. What we tried to make sure was that they understood that exercise is not an activity which is added on to your daily routine. It should already be in your routine. So it's just about making small changes. And what they normally do is now, because we give them the pedometers, they found it a bit of a competition.
It gave me an incentive. Before I was just doing a lot less than what my wife was doing. Because she was doing more than me, it kind of encouraged me to do, just as much, if not more than her.
I learn, if I know something, I explain to my family about diabetes, my neighbors, my friends. Since I seen Sobia and Imran, I phoned my next door neighbor, everything. They explained to me, I explained to her. This is something we can't see outside in our body, it's inside. So we need to look what we're going to eat, what I bring in the food, what I'm cooking in the house, so everything.
Across the families, not just this one, all the families have commented that diet is a big issue because they feel that the food that we eat on a daily basis is not something which maybe the dietitians are aware of or they can really relate to and give them information accordingly. So we go in and we talk about stuff which they eat. So we talk about chapatis, we talk about parathas, we talk about curries, we talk about rice, we talk about portion control on these things. It's about sensibly managing what you eat, when you eat, and how you eat.
I think what we need to do is get the education out there, and I think that's important. Diabetes is not a death sentence. Diabetes can be controlled, it can be self-managed, and also if it's well managed, then you can reduce the incidences of complications from that condition as well. People are living longer with diabetes, and people are living longer without complications or as severe complications of diabetes as well. So it's important to get that education out there.